Thursday, which means Titans Thursday and the Magic Bucket. Got the Magic Bucket later on the show to end the show. Get a new sticker for Zach that he's going to be excited about. But something that we're all really excited about tonight is the NFL schedule release. 2020 NFL schedule will be out tonight. It'll be announced at 7 o'clock Central Time. We're going to predict today what we think the Titans will get, and will the Titans be rewarded in 2020 for what they accomplished in 2019. So we'll find out today. We'll have several good discussions this morning about what we expect from the Titans schedule release. How many primetime games did the Tennessee Titans earn last season with their trip to the AFC Championship game? That's what we'll find out. So excited about that. Magic Bucket as well, best and worst. We're going to do it all here on this Thursday show. Zach, welcome in. We look very clean this morning compared to how we've looked over the last month or so, as we both got haircuts yesterday, feeling very, very nice and light today. Dropped about 2 pounds of hair yesterday.
How did you enjoy your haircut? Like, the aftermath is right what it is. It's relief. Right. You got a haircut. I feel better. But the process and the uniqueness of what you had to do. I know where you went to get your haircut. It was the same place.
Same place.
Different
person. Yes.
But you had to wear a mask, required to wear a mask. How was that experience?
It wasn't a big deal. I mean, I guess because I understand it. It's the first time this person's ever cut my hair. So that, throws some nuance and difficulty into that, because they don't know what my hair was supposed to look like before I had let it grow out for 3+ months. But it was fine. It wasn't a big deal. Like, to trim around your ears, you had to hold your mask as she undid each ear and then put it back on. But overall, it was fine. The biggest part that I was bummed out about, which I understand, is no shampoo. No hair wash, no head massage, no shampoo. That's something I missed more than, worrying about having to wear a mask. But I'm glad I got the haircut. It feels amazing, to be honest.
Yeah, I love that I got a haircut. It makes me feel a lot better. The process of actually doing it was awful. I hated it.
Yeah, I think that's a little extreme. It's not that big of a deal.
It absolutely was. It's my opinion, and it can be right if it's my opinion. So it was awful. Wearing a mask. Look, one of the things I love to do when getting a haircut is conversate, talk about what's going on. I conversate with other people too that are in the. I got a mask on. And now, as you said, I'm holding the back of my head, and then you got to get the top of my head.
What kind of mask?
I'm like this. Oh, I got an N95 mask, baby. And so I don't
know why you got to hold the back of your head. I didn't have to do that.
Well, because of my straps. So, do you know what an N95 mask is?
I guess so you have a strap that goes all the way around the back.
Yeah, there's two straps.
Mine hooks around the ears.
See, I got 2 straps around the back and around the back. It's an official mask.
So you're
not off the black market,
Mine was handmade with love and care. So that's it.
Look, we got through it, which is good, and we're going to get through this show. It's going to be an exciting show. Today's going to be an exciting day. We're going to have a lot of content going out through our social media outlets, asking you guys questions and predictions about tonight's schedule, and it's going to be a big night. We finally get to know a little bit more about who the Titans will face and when they will face them, more importantly, and some of the other primetime games. Before we get going, though, we want to ask you guys to share the show. Bottom right corner of your screen, if you're watching on Periscope/Twitter, you'll see those 3 little dots. Tap that bad boy and retweet the broadcast. We need to pop up in your Twitter followers' timeline. So help us out and retweet the show. Also, Facebook. What's going on, Facebookers? We're broadcasting live from Instagram. We also have YouTube and Twitch. But you Facebookers, more people will pile in over the next 5 to 10 minutes. And as you guys do, please share the show. Bottom left corner of your screen. Share now to public. Sharing is caring. Caring is sharing. And we will get this thing started live. Louis got a question to start off. Austin, can you answer
it? What is that question? I don't see it.
That question is 6:30 question mark. When does the schedule actually announce?
At 7 p.m. Central Time is when it's supposed to be live and out to the public. So we should get it in our emails a little bit before that, but we will get reamed if we release it earlier than the 7 o'clock time. That's how it typically is. Who knows? Let's get it going officially. Welcome into A to Z Sports, powered by TennesseeTickets.com. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Zach Bingham. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at A to Z Sports, Instagram, A to Z Sports, and Facebook, A to Z Sports Nashville, where Nashville's on-demand sports talk network. And we go live every weekday morning at 8 Central Time. Got to thank our sponsors because they make it all happen, including helping you guys out. TennesseeTickets.com. You can buy tickets, guys, to these games. When the schedule comes out, you can go buy tickets, and I highly suggest using TennesseeTickets.com, telling them A to Z Sports sent you because they will help you out, guaranteed that. So stay tuned later on for our message for how to use Tennessee Tickets later on in today. TennesseeTickets.com. Renters Warehouse is where to go. They're Nashville's professional landlords. Renterswarehouse.com is where to go to find out how much your home can rent for. There are alternatives to selling your house when you move. Renterswarehouse.com. Mandu, the Pulse of Fitness, 1 15-minute workout of full body electronic muscle stimulation, simulates 5+ hours in the weight room. Mandu.com. Your first workout is free. I have a workout later on today. Very excited about being back in the Mandu studio and jump-starting that fitness. The science is real, so the results are real. Mandu.com. Your first workout free. The Tucker Agency, Nashville's independent insurance agency, giving you relief of, check this, an average of 20% savings on your personal insurance. TuckerTN.com is where to go. And Calvin and Subtle is where to go for your hardwood needs. To book an appointment for your hardwood floors, calvinandsubtle.com or 615-448-6414, calvinandsubtle.com. Zach, how excited are you that the schedule comes out tonight? We know what the season is at least going to look like tentatively, but the 2020 season will have a better look tonight for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's more information. Everybody is just dying for information of when the NBA is going to come back, the NHL, MLB, the NFL for that matter. And now we get a better view. And this is regardless of coronavirus, right? Regardless of all the things that have happened in this world, this is one of my favorite days in the spring. It is, because there's excitement. You get to plan out, hopefully, your fall. For us, we know our schedule, right? That's big for us. And this may be a little bit different because, hell, we work 7 days a week during the football season. So it's a grind. Anytime the Titans have a primetime game, it's a win because I can go to Oxford and watch the Lane Train. Whoop, whoop. I can watch the Lane Train, coach up the Ole Miss Rebels. I can do whatever I want. But tonight is exciting because also what we'll do tomorrow morning is predict. Yeah. We will predict when will they start? Will the Titans, will they get off to a fast start? Will they have a primetime game in the first 4 weeks? Or all their primetime games all at the end of the season and could be flexed out? Like, all of these things will be noticed tonight. And it's very unique. And we'll talk about the information that John Clayton threw out there yesterday that I do think is important of the structuring of how this particular season will work. But I am pumped up. I am almost more excited. Yep, I am. Yep, yeah, I am. I'm more excited about tonight than the draft.
There's no way.
But you're a draft guy. I love the schedule because you know what? I've got a lot of teams that I look at and I get excited about. And especially tonight, fire them cannons. I get to find out how many primetime games that Tom Brady and the Bucs are going to have. The Cowboys, I'd like to see Dak and the boys. What about LA? That whole situation with their brand new stadium. Vegas, rolling the dice with how many Raiders games. So there are a lot of different unique scenarios in this particular year. I'm amped. I'm juiced, as we say.
And so before we get to our initial discussion today and our first question for you guys, John Clayton did tell a Pittsburgh radio station, I think 93.7 The Fan, about what the schedule could look like at the very beginning. Because Zach always says you split the schedule up in quarters, and we'll definitely do that tomorrow on the show once we know the schedule. But the first quarter of the NFL schedule, the first 4 weeks, the NFL via John Clayton is looking at doing AFC versus NFC. Every team has a cross-conference division that they play each year. For the Titans this year, it's the NFC North. They play all 4 teams in the NFC North, and John Clayton is saying that those 4 games will be weeks 1 through 4. So that could be the Packers, the Vikings, the Lions, and the Bears to start the season, which 2 of those games are home for the Titans. 2 of those games are on the road. They go to Green Bay. They go to Minnesota, and they get the Lions and Bears in Nashville. So I think if you're looking at that, I think it would be a big victory if you're at Green Bay early in the season because there's no weather to worry about. Green Bay weather in September is the most perfect weather you could ask for. It's not going to be 97 degrees like it would be in Nashville. It'll probably be in like the low 80s and no humidity, and you'll go out there and play in the game and not have to worry about cramping up in September like you do when you're playing in other cities. And Minnesota doesn't matter. It's a dome. But how do you feel about that, the way the NFL is talking about doing that type of structure?
It makes sense. It's smart and it's strategic with what we're working with, and which is a lot of unknowns. So I think that's smart, and it doesn't affect the actual team a great deal because it's out of conference, and how the structure of the rules in the league on how to enter the tournament, aka the NFL playoffs, is it all comes down to division first, right? You win your division, you are in. Then if you have the best team or best record in the conference, you get the number 1 seed, you get a bye and all that stuff. At the very, very end, it comes down to common opponents, right? And so that's a smart thing that they probably figured out early on of what they were going to do. And so I like that. Now, here's the one thing that it does change. Now, the best part about the NFL is the parity, right? You get Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford, but there's nothing better than Titans fans like last year thinking they could steal a game against the Colts, right? Early on at home. And that didn't happen because 4th and 2, Mariota threw it high over A.J. Brown's head. Game over, Colts win. But that's the excitement. And we talked a lot before the last season of what's the most important game. I believe you said that Colts game because now this was before Andrew Luck retired, right?
Yeah, I mean, I said it was more important than the Browns game in week 1.
Right.
To not spin my words incorrectly.
Well, I didn't. I told you. I told everybody exactly what was said. But you did actually say the Colts game was more important than any other game, and then I told you why you said that. So I didn't mix any words there, big dog. Okay. You don't have to say that. What it does omit are those divisional games at the beginning of the season that I get excited for and fans get excited for.
Sure. And the interesting thing, and we'll get to your questions and comments here in a second, but if the NFL does do the first 4 weeks versus the NFC, AFC, that type of structure, if they do have to move those games to January, then because that's what they talked about in the contingency plan that came out last week, they would just chop off the first 4 weeks and move those to January at the end. That would completely mess up the run down to the playoffs with divisional opponents in week 16 and 17 that really gets things interesting there too.
And Green Bay's a little bit colder.
A lot of bit colder, absolutely. A to Z Sports here live on this Thursday morning, a Titans Thursday. So here's the thing. How many primetime games do the Titans deserve this season? Because they were one of the last 4 teams, Final 4 in the NFL, AFC Championship game appearance after the playoff run as a wild card team. Earned a lot of respect around the NFL. But how does that respect translate into eyeballs in TV ratings and primetime matchups? So this is the question. It's not about how many will they get, because we can react to how many they get tomorrow morning. How many primetime games do the Titans deserve after what they did last season with Tannehill, Henry, a great defense, Vrabel's a hot young coach, all this positivity the Titans have? How many do they deserve this season? And before we get to your comments, Zach is going to tell you guys about Calvin and Subtle.
Got some good comments. I'm going to read 2 before I get to Calvin Subtle. Chris Helms on Instagram Live says Thursday night, Monday night. He's just saying 2. Wow. And then you got Lambo 14 saying they deserve at least 4. So we're getting some really good comments. That's a wide range, 2 versus 4 when it comes to primetime games. But first, I want to talk to you about Calvin and Subtle. If you are looking for new hardwood floors, one place to go, calvinandsubtle.com. They've got you covered. They've been trusted here in the Nashville market for some time now. We've teamed up with them. They're a presenting sponsor on A to Z Sports because they can be trusted, especially in this time. You give them a call, give them a call up. It's very, very simple, 615-448-6414. You call them, ring-a-ding-ding. They answer, and you say, look, I need some new hardwood floors. They schedule somebody to come out, CDC precautions. They've got gloves. They've got masks. Everybody's safe, and they assess your situation. You want new hardwood floors in your bathroom. You want new hardwood floors in your bedroom. They can make that happen. You pick your perfect floor from their sample, and all of a sudden, 1 to 2 weeks, it's complete. That is how easy it is. If it's a custom job or a bigger job, it may come out to 3 to 4, but they work very fast and very effective. That's calvinandsuttle.com.
All right, A to Z Sports here live on a Thursday. How many primetime games do the Titans deserve this season after the run of the AFC Championship game in January? That's the question. Don't forget to subscribe to our A to Z Sports podcast feed. You get the Tighten Up podcast with former Titan Brett Hopkins that was out this week. Also, a new Big Orange podcast talking everything Vols that came out this morning. So G-Man says they deserve 3. Scott says 3. Mookie says 3. Houston going on the high end. Titans deserve 5+, including a Thanksgiving game. I don't think that's going to happen, the Thanksgiving Day game, because every NFL team plays one Thursday night game a season, right? And the Cowboys and the Lions get 2 of the 3 Thanksgiving games. I highly doubt they're going to put Titans Jags on Thursday night of Thanksgiving, because that's just, if you want to talk about a food coma, that's just football coma to put the most of the country asleep. Titans Jags on Thursday night of Thanksgiving, that would be dreadful. Jason says 4. He thinks it's Steelers, Packers, Ravens, and Colts. Tyler says 2 to 4. Lucas says 4. We'll be lucky to get 3. Durrell just says 1, which is how many they had last year, because you're just guaranteed that one Thursday night game.
Yeah, well, and look, there's a wide range. The question is, what do they deserve, right?
Yes, correct.
718 Kelvo 615 says 3. Ravens game will definitely be in prime time from Lambeau 14. Austin, how many games do you think they deserve?
So, do they deserve? I think they deserve the Thursday night game plus 3. So a total of 4 is what I. Yeah, I think one Sunday night football game for the Tennessee Titans makes a lot of sense. And then 2 Monday night football games is what I think the Titans will get.
Well, they've only had, let's look at the history, right? They've only had 1 Sunday night football game that was flexed. And I like to call those force flex, because there was no other option in week 17 in which Marcus Mariota did not play. Right. Andrew Luck goes to the playoffs. Besides that, 2008. So that's why I'm a little hesitant.
But Zach, they went to the AFC Championship game, and I think they get 1 Sunday night game. I think it's happening.
I would be shocked.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think there's one chance, there's one opportunity for that Sunday night game to be a home game, and that would be against the Steelers, because the opponent matters too, right? The opponent is very important in how many primetime games the Titans will get, and they have a very favorable schedule when it comes to teams that get good TV ratings to prop up the Tennessee Titans, who don't get good TV ratings across the country. The Steelers are the only option for a Sunday night game at home. I don't think they would put Titans Texans or Titans Colts on Sunday night, because Phillip Rivers is good and all, but he's not Sunday night Rivers versus Tannehill good. The Steelers definitely would be. I think there are 2 road Sunday night options, and that is at Ravens and at Packers. And I think you always look at storylines for why they pick those games. There are really good storylines with both the Ravens and the Packers. The storyline for the Ravens is obviously the Titans embarrassed Lamar Jackson, the league MVP, in the divisional round of the playoffs. And so making that a Sunday night game in Baltimore for a playoff rematch, and how the Titans were able to do that to Lamar Jackson, that is a good storyline. The Packers storyline is LaFleur versus Vrabel. You've got 2 head coaches. One was under the other and was there for 1 season. That's a storyline that could be propped up along with Aaron Rodgers as well. And the Packers have some interesting turmoil that could happen with the Jordan Love draft pick. And it's in Green Bay. That's important. It's in Green Bay, and they always want to showcase Lambeau Field at night if they have the opportunity. And Shrike also adds that's AFC runner-up versus NFC runner-up. So I think there are 3 Sunday night football options. It's home versus the Steelers, I think, is least likely. I think at Ravens, at Packers are the most likely of the 3.
All right, so I disagree with 4. I think that's ridiculous. And I'll tell you. Yeah, I think, well, 1 is guaranteed. Now, BMO brings up, and this is something we talked about at the beginning of the show, is one opportunity is now off the table. which is, and BMO on Instagram says, Lions and Titans on Thanksgiving. That can't happen, right? Because they're going to play in the first 4 weeks.
Correct.
So that's off the table. That opportunity. Titans have played the Lions. If you remember, that was 2008.
2008, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember
Dave Ball had a pick six and did the turkey wings in the air.
Exactly right. So that's off the table. Deserve, though, and this is how I broke it down. I don't think it's 4. And first, I looked at the pros for the Titans. I think you've named a couple of them, right? AFC Championship run. I think that's important. They have stars. Derrick Henry is a star. Ryan Tannehill, not so much, but A.J. Brown, I think the NFL is intrigued by that swag. You look at the graphic for everybody watching on everything besides IG. Got swag, got that light, got that shine. But other than that, you don't have a lot to sell to the NFL. And here's where I believe that the NFL is going to do what the NFL is going to do. Take the business route, especially in a year where money has probably been tight. They have not made as much money this past spring as they usually do. So what are they going to do? You go play the hits. These, my friends, are the cons, and the cons outweigh the pros for a lot of primetime games. I'm not saying anything. The NFL has always disrespected the Tennessee Titans. First and foremost, I probably would assume if I was a common man, the NFL probably thought that the Titans' run was a fluke, that they truly don't believe that that can be sustained into another season. I think that they would be skeptical. I'm not saying I think that. I'm saying the NFL thinks that. The other thing is small market. The Titans are a small market. Nashville doesn't do a very good job of filling up their stadium. And when they do, it's other fans. And other fans probably aren't going to be traveling to Nashville because of the damn coronavirus. That's another con. The other thing is, and this is the most important thing, goes back to money. There are just so many other teams above the Titans that make more money for the NFL on these primetime games. And you have more teams that are more unique, have better storylines. And that hurts because I named Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown as a star, but other teams have the quarterback showcase as the star. I would say the Titans' 2 stars in the NFL circle, Derrick Henry and Mike Vrabel, right? The others, it's really about the quarterback. And if you could just go through the AFC, now Tom Brady's gone, but he's going to get a lot of primetime games. You've got the Miami Dolphins now with the Tua storyline. They're going to get a lot of primetime games. The Jets do just because they're in New York. Baltimore now has the defending MVP. Ben Roethlisberger is back for the Steelers. The Cleveland Browns have stars galore. Joe Burrow now plays for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
Saddle up and listen.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson is a star in this league.
Yes.
They love that. Houston is a big market. Phillip Rivers, a known commodity now for Indianapolis. Screw the Jags. Nobody cares about Jacksonville. Kansas City Chiefs, defending Super Bowl champions with Patrick Mahomes, the highlight of the entire league. The Denver Broncos have John Elway. They have less to sell. I would put the Broncos kind of in the Titans mold.
The Broncos are a more national brand of NFL team than the Tennessee Titans.
They absolutely are. Las Vegas. You don't think that they want to showcase the Las Vegas Raiders with John Gruden in the new black hole? And then you've got the Los Angeles Chargers. I will simply put this up, and I'm not going to go through the NFC teams because everybody knows the NFC teams. It's not you, it's me. That's what the NFL is going to be saying to the Tennessee Titans tonight. It's not you, it's me.
Okay, that's all good. But in when you just listed off the teams that are a higher priority for primetime games than Tennessee Titans, you listed like 9 of the Titans' 16 games. You listed the Texans and the Colts that are 4 games. So there's 4 opportunities that you think. You listed the Broncos, the Bengals, the Steelers. Who else did you say? The Ravens. You listed a lot of games that the Browns that the Titans play.
So those teams play those other teams, though.
Right? But the Titans have more because of the schedule is filled with big NFL teams, and Houston brings up the Bills too. The Bills are a big NFL draw. That makes a lot of sense. But now the Titans have more opportunities to get on prime time because, one, they went to the AFC title game, and really more importantly is they play other big name teams and bigger market teams a lot, so they will have those opportunities to do so. Chicago, the Chicago Bears are going to absolutely blow. They're going to have more, like just as many losses as they do tight ends on the roster, which is currently 11. And so I think the Chicago Bears in a more normal year, like if this was last year and Mitch Trubisky was coming off of a pretty good season, then maybe Bears Titans would be primetime because the Bears.
But it's not.
So
I think the question is who they deserve. We had a lot
and Tanner said, Zach, the question was how many do they deserve, not how many will they get? Because nothing you said is incorrect. That they will not get as many as they do deserve. I say they deserve 4. How many do they deserve?
In the eyes, they deserve 3, right? They do not deserve 4. They deserve 1 because they get 1, right?
Everybody gets 1.
So
like
really, because of what they did last year and all of the things that you said, they probably deserve 2 more. I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they only got 2. And I hate to say that, but I think they deserve 3. If they get 3, that makes a lot of sense to me. If they get 2, that also makes a lot of sense to me because it's about dollars and cents with the NFL. And not only that, Austin, let's look at the history. Every single person watching this show in this virtual room admits and knows the Titans get disrespected on a daily basis by the NFL. Always have, always will.
Right. So Deborah brings up this question, which is a fair question. Do you think that Nashville TV market being a top 10 market on television for the NFL draft factors in at all? And while that's
side of that.
But while that's a good point, because if you look at the top 10 TV markets of who watched the NFL draft, Nashville's top 10 ahead of some really big cities. But it's not about people in Nashville watching the Titans. It's about people outside of Nashville giving a damn to watch the Titans. So
watching Nashville, yeah.
So Deborah, you're right. The Nashville.
That's a good comment.
Yeah, it is, and I'm glad she said that because it was a good thing to talk about because Nashville's TV market. Because I think I was talking to Tanner about this on Twitter or something recently. That Nashville will always be a strong TV market for the NFL. It's always like top 10 in college football. But that doesn't mean that the NFL cares about how it's about how the rest of the country views the Tennessee Titans on TV, not the other way around.
All right. So I'm going to give out the love of the show because it is something I have never thought about. Now, I haven't really gone into the details and the logistics of what 2020 fall is going to be. But Bobby, who's a longtime listener and always consistently watches the show, he gets the love for the comment, not for his faithfulness to A to Z. But Bobby brings up a very good point. I don't know if you've ever thought about this.
Okay.
He says, if there's no college football, there may be more Saturday NFL games and more opportunity.
Yeah.
I've never thought about that.
Well, I've heard some chatter about that, and the reports are that the NFL would not play on Saturdays. That I think there's, and I don't have on the fly right now. I don't have anybody to credit that report from, but I have heard that over the last couple of weeks of if Saturdays are available, does the NFL just engulf the entire weekend and go Saturday, Sunday football? That is not expected to be the case. They are going to throw up the schedule tonight, and it's going to be regular Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays for the first 13 weeks. And then when it gets towards the end of the year, when college football is in bowl season and not regular season, that's when they splash in a couple Saturday games like they do every year.
Yeah, and I think they're playing, I think the front office and just the league in general, the Shield is playing this by a week-to-week basis leading up to the fall of what's going to happen. I think the other thing that kind of subs up my thinking, and Gregor Man 1855 says something very intelligent, says, if there are no crowds or reduced crowds, TV markets will be all that matter. And Nashville is not high on that list.
No, the Titans are not high on that list. Nashville actually is when it comes to watching the NFL and consuming. The Titans are not.
Well, at home games. I'm talking about like featured primetime games in Nashville. That's another incentive to get primetime games, Austin, right? We talk about the pros and the cons. If it was the Chicago Titans, that's huge incentive, right? That's a massive pro because you're in a Chicago market. That's more opportunity to get the actual primetime game that we're talking about, which is 1, 2, 3, or 4. They're not getting 5, right? But
No,
that's out of the
that's crazy. And rarely do teams get 5. I think they deserve 4. They're not going to get 4. I understand that, but I think for what they've been able to do over the last couple of really 4 years of making the playoffs, being 9-7, winning playoff games, having a successful head coach that is bigger than the market. Like Mike Vrabel's name is bigger than the Tennessee Titans are viewed nationally in the NFL.
because Marcus Mariota is no longer here. You're right.
Right. So I think they will get 3. I think they will get obviously their Thursday night game. I think they will get 1 Monday night game and 1 Sunday night game. Zach, do you want to go ahead?
Would you be offended if they only got 2?
I think the Titans should. I mean, I'm not, but I'm not.
What about 1% of your feelings?
No, I am personally not. Well, I will say this: if they only get 2, then that means me and you are just working a lot of Saturday noon slots, and that wears on us throughout the entire season. Yeah, like we got a bye week. I love the Thursday night game creates an extra bye week opportunity for Zach and I, and a Monday night game creates a little bit of breathing room in the schedule too. Sunday night doesn't really change much, but
this is pretty good. Lambo 14 on IG. Look, I love how we're on IG and all these platforms. We get more people chiming in. Lambo 14 brings up, how many games did the Jags get after their AFC Championship run? So they went to the AFC Championship. I'm looking it up.
You got it up? You got it?
Yeah. So
okay.
They went to the AFC Championship game in 2017. Is that correct?
Yes.
And
2017 season.
Right. So the 2018. Ooh, this is not going to tell me prime time.
Right, because you're on ESPN.com and they don't have the time of the games. So I tried to do that earlier this morning and I couldn't find anything. So I don't know where you're going to be able to go that quickly
now I know the year, right? The 2018 Jags schedule.
Well, while you're looking that up, Brad asked, do the Titans play in London this year? Monday, the NFL canceled all of their international games, which might have meant nothing, but actually the Titans were on a short list of teams who could have played the Jags in London this year. So maybe the Titans would have been in London if it was regular. Steph says the Jags only had 2 primetime games that 2018 season, one of which was when Derrick Henry stiff-armed his way to 239 yards and 4 touchdowns in Nashville. I don't know if the Jags had any more than that or not, but I think the Titans.
They actually only had 1.
It was just that Titans.
The other one you could consider a primetime game was at 9:30 a.m. in
London,
Wembley Stadium.
And I guess the Jags are different because they always play a game in London, so that could skew their
respect. They only had 2. Now they're an East Coast team. They only had 2 4:25 starts. That's Eastern time. Here it is. The NFL probably justified this as a primetime game, which is Sunday, October 14th, 2018, at Cowboys, 4:25. That was not America's game of the week. Probably not. I actually remember jersey. Cowboys wore white. Jags wore black on aqua that game. But that they probably considered that game was their primetime game. But they only got 1 that year. So
Anthony says they got flexed out of a Sunday night game that year. Maybe they did. Maybe they had a Sunday night game late in the season that didn't happen because the Jags went back from, making the playoffs to 4-12.
That's fair because I'm only seeing the results.
Ian says we need A to Z in London next season. Make it happen if the Titans come. It's not going to happen, Ian. Sorry, buddy. Ian watches the show from Scotland all the time. We've met Ian a couple times, but the next time the Titans do go overseas, I think Zach and I are planning to make that happen. It didn't happen a couple seasons ago, but next time definitely. But it is unfortunately not going to be 2020. Ian says maybe 2022 is when the Titans could be back in London, possibly so. But I think my final prediction is the Thursday night game will be a divisional game. The there will be one Monday night game, and I think that could be the Ravens. And I think there will be one Sunday night game, and I'm predicting that to be the Packers early in the season. Because if you're trying to get the Titans, who deserve more primetime slots, do it early before they have a chance to ruin themselves, right? Because the Titans are still hot because they just came off this playoff run. They're still atop of people's minds. So do it against the Packers like week 2, 3, or 4, because that's the two teams that were also in championship weekend that lost, and you've got the storylines there with LaFleur versus Vrabel.
Yeah, and I think that's where we need to go next. We're going to talk about the best and worst teams of. We need to predict. If you say 3, we got to go with all 3 of them. Real quick, fact check, just because to confirm what I was saying is definitely right there. You see black on aqua.
I see that. It's behind us, but I see it. Congratulations for being a Jersey nerd once again.
Look, this is what we need to do. This is live on air, Austin. This is just A to Z company growth talk. We need to come up with a you and I trivia game where something I'm very good at, something you're very good at.
I'm very good at knowing where players played their college football.
And we put that to the test. I would love this game. And you know what? Hell, we ain't got sports now here in the next couple of weeks after this schedule, and we can get other people involved. I like this idea. This is good brainstorming on the fly.
Yeah, maybe so. A to Z Sports here live on this Titans Thursday, talking about the Titans schedule. Let's do this next. Let's go into the best and worst segment that we've been doing since April began, brought to you by the Tucker Agency. Who is the best and the worst team the Titans will face this season? Who is the best and the worst team the Titans will face this season? But first, Zach, tell people about Tucker Agency and how they can help them right now.
Yeah, Tucker Agency, look, we signed them up and they jumped on board for our presenting sponsor because they wanted to help you guys, all of our followers, all of our viewers, and all of our listeners. And it's very, very simple, the concept. Maybe you've lost your job. Maybe you've lost some income. Look, we're probably all of us are not making as much money as we were a few months ago unless you were producing masks. Then you're probably doing pretty good. But we're not all fortunate enough to do that. If you're losing income, maybe you need to find different ways to save your money. You got to have insurance. It's required. If you're driving, you have car insurance. If you own a home, you have home insurance. If you rent, you should have renter's insurance. This is where we're going to change, right? Restructure. The average customer for the Tucker Agency saves 20%. TuckerTN.com. Will Tucker will help you out. His entire team will help you out. Email him, will@TuckerTN.com. Will@TuckerTN.com. Drop him an email. Say, hey, I'd like to save some money. How can you help me? He will help you, and his team will help you 20% on average. You can restructure your home, your auto. If you've got a boat, if you have your entire umbrella or life insurance, 20% could be a lot. That's a couple of $100 each month. That will help you out for the foreseeable future. That's TuckerTN.com.
All right, A to Z Sports, the question, the best and worst, brought to you by the Tucker Agency. Who is the best and the worst opponent the Titans will face this season? Scotty says, the Jags are trash. The Jags are trash. And don't forget to subscribe to our A to Z Sports podcast feed as well for the Tighten Up podcast, the Big Orange podcast, both out with new episodes this week. So reading some comments about the best and the worst. Shrike says the best should be the Baltimore Ravens. Lucas with a little wild card. The best, the Buffalo Bills. You are a big believer in what the Bills are building.
Well, I think I like two things about the Bills. I like the division because TB12 is out of there. And I like the structure of what Sean McDermott is doing. I think Josh Allen is getting better. He's got a long way to go, but he's proven that he can use his legs and he can throw. Now, sometimes a little erratic. I like the schedule because of the division, and I also like their defense, and that's Sean McDermott. So I'm not in love with the Bills, but I like the Bills' opportunity each and every year moving forward because that division is going to change. look, I think Tua could come in there and really make some waves
if he's
he
healthy.
stays healthy. Right.
He's number 1 though, so he's gonna be a bust.
Yeah, and I don't like the number, but that division is wide open. I think that is definitely going out on a limb to say that the Bills are the best team.
Here's my favorite comment of the day so far. Lucas says the worst are all the cat teams, and I was like, how many cat teams do the Titans play this year, and are they really all that bad? The Jags, cat team, they're bad. The Bengals, cat team, they're the worst team in the NFL last season. Probably going to be better than they were last year, but still bad. The Lions, cat team, they suck too. I think that's all the cat teams the Titans play, and they're all bad.
And they got the Cleveland Browns, which is a dog team.
And then, yeah, sure, they've got the Bears, and so all the animals are not very good, is what we're finding out. Yeah, all the animals are not very good, if you want to go with that.
Well, the Bills are.
Yeah, I guess that's a weird.
That's Buffalo, baby.
Yeah. What is a Bill? The Colts are fine.
It's a Buffalo. It's a Bill.
I'm kidding. But A to Z Sports. All right. So who is the best team? Because I think it's easier to say the worst team is the Jags or the Bengals or the Lions, like we've talked about. Maybe the Bears. But
the worst team is simple. It's the Bengals. Like I know, like the Jags are really bad. It's Bengals or Jags. Those are the.
I think the Jags are the worst.
Because of the quarterback situation, possibly.
And they traded everybody away. Like, there's no Jalen Ramsey. There's no A.J. Boye. There's no Yannick Ngakoue will not be there. Calais Campbell's not going to be there. Telvin Smith retired. Like, their offensive line's awful. They're trying to trade Leonard Fournette. Marquise Lee got cut. Like, they don't have anybody.
BMO says the year of exploiting the kitten.
Yeah, that's what 2020 is. All the four-legged animals, minus the Colts, are not very good.
The year of the bat. We already know that.
We'll get to that later. All right, so who is Houston says the best team is the Broncos. The Broncos will be much improved from last year, but I still don't think they're in the conversation for the best team. They might be.
You're a Drew Lock doubter.
Well, they might be the fastest team. It's just they have a
Derrick Henry doubter, so
Well, but the Broncos have so much youth on their offense that how much will they be clicking at the time the Titans play them? One thing we forgot to mention about primetime conversation is there was that one leak, who we don't know if it's true or not, that said the Broncos and Titans will be Week 5 Monday night, which fits the John Clayton report about the first 4 weeks being AFC versus NFC, that the Broncos Week 5 Monday night could happen. But I think the Broncos will be a very good team, but not the best. I think the best is the Ravens. I think the Steelers are being forgotten about because that defense is really good, and Ben Roethlisberger will be back. How healthy will he be? How far along can he recover, and can he get back to where he was? That's the other question there. And then the Packers as well.
So what's your answer?
I think
you just listed three teams.
I was just talking about the teams that were in the conversation.
What's your answer though?
My answer is, I think I have to go Ravens. It feels like a cop-out answer, but the Ravens are going to be really good. The defense is getting better. They add in more speed to their offense. Lamar Jackson will take another year to progress. So I think the Ravens, but there's a lot of really good teams on this schedule.
Yeah, the Ravens are the best team. The Jags are the worst team. I'll agree with you. I think you could make an argument for the Bengals being the worst team, but with Burrow and Green, maybe it gives you more of an opportunity to win. But the Ravens are the best team. The Packers, they did not add or help their offense this draft, right? Besides drafting a quarterback in the first round, Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, so he's always going to give you a shot. The Vikings could be a sneaky team that could be good. Now, Stephon Diggs is on the Bills, which helps the Bills, right? They play the Bills. But Kirk Cousins has progressively gotten better in Minnesota, and I think Jefferson's going to be good. I agree with you. I think he could be really, really scary. We've already seen what Delvin Cook can do. I think he can be really, really good.
Tight end Irv Smith in his second year, who made a lot of plays last year down the stretch.
But the Ravens, I just think that Lamar Jackson will regress a little bit, but I don't know how much, right?
I don't know, man. And Peter A on Instagram says, but Vrabel can draw it up. They are tough, but we are too, as in the Titans. Maybe that's talking about the Ravens. And that's the chess game in this.
So I have to say this, because this is easily forgotten, and I don't know the exact number, but it's a lot. easily forgotten in the playoff game. The Ravens were in Titans territory a ton, but they went for it on fourth down a ton because they had to get points, like 7 points instead of 3 points. If it's a regular season game, they're probably kicking field goals, right? So that score, which was a lot to a little for the majority of the game,
28-12.
a lot to a little for the majority of the game, probably is cut down where Lamar Jackson has an opportunity to get back in it at the end of the game. So I think that a regular season game is different. It's hard to compare and take that game. Now,
Well,
I don't want to take anything away from Tennessee.
I think
they played really well.
Shrike brings this up. The Ravens went for it a lot on fourth down throughout the season, especially in short yardage situation because of the deception and the speed they have on offense with Lamar Jackson being as good of a runner as he is. Now, that game, the Ravens-Titans playoff game, was such a crazy box score to look at compared to the scoreboard because it was 28-6 until the Ravens scored in the fourth quarter to make it 28-12. But the Ravens had almost double the amount of first downs. The Ravens had 530 total yards to the Titans 300. Yards per play was about the same. Passing yards, Lamar Jackson had a ton of passing yards. He also ran for over 100 yards. Interceptions, he threw 2 of them. I'm trying to find the fourth down stats there. The Ravens were 0 for 4 on fourth down in that game.
Right. And you're going to come away with, let's say, I don't know, is it a 10-point game? Is it 18-28?
But the Titans
I don't know.
But that's the thing. The Titans made those plays. The Titans made those plays to stop the Ravens on fourth down, especially in the first half, which allowed the Titans to get up to that 14 nothing lead early. Say what?
Mark Ingram was also very hurt. I'm not making excuses. The Titans
and now who is the running back the Ravens got? They got J.K. Dobbins, didn't they? Which is just terrifying. Yeah, terrifying for what that 1-2 punch is going to be. Scott says Jackson is not Mahomes. He is still not a great passer, which overall
he is not a lot last year. He made a lot of really good passes.
I think he was close to leading the league in touchdown passes. His yards were not that impressive passing, but he was really good at throwing touchdowns in the red zone.
All right, so before we move on to the Magic Bucket, I want to do this one thing. I want to feature this one comment, and then I want a prediction from you and myself. The comment that I want to, and you can't deny this is absolutely true. G-Man Base has this correct. Vrabel with Frozone on the sidelines is a primetime draw. I don't care who you are. If Frozone in those Titans practice shorts are on the sidelines, that's a primetime draw. That leads us to our question.
Okay.
Prediction time. The schedule tonight will be released. What are your Titans primetime games?
Well, I've already said mine. So I said they deserve.
No. I want individual.
I've already said it, dude. They deserve 4. They're going to get 3. I think the Thursday night game will be a divisional game. I'll just say.
So you haven't said it.
Hold on, dude. Time out. Would you let me talk? The divisional game will be against the Colts. That the Thursday night game against the Colts is where I guess right now. Then what I did say is that I think Sunday night football against the Packers early, and then Monday night football at the Ravens. So I did say what I thought my predictions would be.
You did not say your divisional team.
Okay, all right. I said not. Okay, whatever. So now what are yours?
Whatever is not true. So that's why I said what I said.
Okay, you're being petty. I talked through my predictions already about 10 minutes ago.
But they were not correct.
What are yours? What are yours?
You weren't 100%.
What are yours,
90%.
please? What are your predictions?
So I think that the Titans, and I think that they will, I think Titans-Texans. I honestly think the Texans are going to be a draw within this. I'm curious about, because I think they'll do Colts-Texans as a primetime game. So I would love to see Titans-Colts, but I'm going to go Titans-Texans in primetime for one of their divisional games. I agree with you with the Ravens. I think the Ravens are one of those things where it's going to be a rematch of last year's divisional game. And what was your third one?
I said I had
Yeah,
Packers on.
Colts, Ravens. Oh, yeah, Packers. I'm
Packers.
going to go Steelers. I think that the Titans will get a
Oh.
home game at home, Titans Steelers, and they're going to go in the history books because the Titans and the Steelers have had a rivalry, and with Ben Roethlisberger, Pittsburgh will be a viewership draw. So I'm going to go Titans Steelers. That's going to be my three: Steelers, Ravens, Texans.
So here, I think the Thursday night game, it's due to be a home game, I think, this year, because I'm not sure how far this goes back, but they go home away on Thursday nights year after year. Last year was at Jags. 2018 was home versus Jags. 2017 Thursday night was at Steelers. 2016 Thursday night was the color rush with the Jags wearing the peanut butter jerseys, and that was home versus the Jags. So it's due. It's gone home away, or whatever. So it's due to be home this year. So I think I say Colts Thursday night at home. You say Texans for Thursday night opponent?
Yeah, the hard part about this is the Jags. Who are the Jags going to play? Because the Jags have to be in prime time, and
the Jags have to be in. Yeah, and I don't know what
history shows that they like putting them up against the Titans. So that's what I think. We may get the divisional one wrong.
But 3 out of the 4 years of Thursday nights have been against the Jags, and then there was that one Steelers game in there at Steelers. I just feel like they're going to go away from the Jags Thursday night this year. Like they have to, right? It's 3 out of 4. You gotta go somewhere else. And I think Colts would be it, because I think they want to save the Texans Titans game for a potential flex late in the year, because Vegas has the Colts as an opportunity to win the Division II. But
that's why I think they'll do that later in the season. That was my philosophy behind
it. I get you.
So we'll find out tonight. I like this. Now,
so your final answer was 2 or 3?
I've got 3. Okay. I say Steelers, Texans, Ravens. Right. You have Packers, Colts, Ravens.
Correct.
Now, now we're 100.
Yeah, now we're right there on it. Bobby says Packers, Bears, Lions going to be the first 4. We discussed that and how the NFL's working on that. Albert says Burrow with the Bengals versus the Jags for Thursday night. Do they play each other? I'm guessing they do. Because it's the AFC North. So there are options. I think that would make sense for the Jags to play the Bengals on Thursday night.
It'd be like week 3.
Yeah, early on, but Joe Burrow is going to be a draw. Like that's something we didn't really talk about today, is how much of a draw for prime time is Joe Burrow going to be with the Bengals?
And how much of a draw is Tua going to be for the Dolphins? Because Miami's a big market and Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow, the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, for sure. Rob says, just joined. Zach's looks party in the front, business in the back. The opposite of the mullet, like that. So we both got haircuts yesterday, which feels fantastic.
Oh, that's skullet, right?
I was dangerously close to an actual mullet. Like I was getting the curls coming around the back of the neck. So A to Z Sports. Zach, are you ready for the Magic Bucket this week? I've got a new sticker for you.
Ooh, we're playing war. I got my sticker for you next week. So bring
you are going to hate and love this sticker at the same time.
Okay, that's fair. And Brian asks, where's the Tux mug? It's not Friday, bro. Don't get ahead
tomorrow.
Of yourself.
Yeah.
Don't get ahead of yourself. We're rocking the casual Browns.
What is that? That's like taupe. What is that? What color mug does Zach have today?
That's a good question.
I don't know what color mug that is. It's just a boring mug, but it's a mug. Coffee mugs can be boring or they can be fun. Mud, Rob says, is that color.
It's good coffee. Good coffee.
Well, and Shrike brings up something. He says, Magic Bucket idea. Once you run out of sticker space, old bucket is retired and new bucket comes out. Because we got to start, like, that fence sticker is freaking huge. And I'm running out.
You know why? Because you're always on the fence.
I'm not always on the fence. Actually, look, the Laces Out sticker had to kind of go over the top here. Like, we're running out of bucket space for the sticker.
No,
I almost threw it.
This is what it should be. I disagree with that adamantly. This needs to look like You know, one of those just rando cars that you see that have way too many stickers that are now overlapping?
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to make this. Or like in a bathroom where it's so you can't even see the wall. There's so many stickers.
We need to start getting like this size sticker instead of the orange color glasses
Sticker
sticker.
comes the way the sticker comes.
All right, so I've got a brand new sticker. I'm very excited about this sticker. Zach is going to both love and hate this sticker. Before I get to that, let me tell you about Renters Warehouse. RentersWarehouse.com is where to go to find out how much your home can rent for. There's so many ways Renters Warehouse can help you out during these times. There are alternatives to selling your home when you move. You can continue to build equity and also create an extra cash flow by renting out your home after you move out instead of selling it. Renters Warehouse also can help you out if you own Airbnbs and you typically rely on travel to have that income. Well, they can temporarily rent out your Airbnb for a few months, no binding contracts, no big deal, to help you supplement some of that income. RentersWarehouse.com is where to go.
A to Z Sports, it is Magic Bucket Thursday. For those that are joining that have never watched this segment, get ready. Maybe on IG Live. Look, a couple of people have bounced off of IG Live because they didn't know what the Magic Bucket is. That's their loss, bro.
Yep,
See
true.
ya. For everybody that's here, that's
Like
buckling down.
Torin, who just joined, is joined at the perfect time.
Way to go. Hey, Torin, welcome on in, bud.
So my brand new sticker that Zach is both going to love and hate has to do with something that he has been talking about for weeks and weeks and weeks, and that is it's freaking bats, man. It's freaking bats. Here is the bat sticker for all of you to love and enjoy. That the bats are going on the bucket so we can all our drinking game that we've been playing ever since Zach has been talking about bats and eating bats. It's the freaking bats, Zach.
Yeah, those bat eaters, man, they got us into this. Now, I watched a 26-minute YouTube documentary last night on a huge conspiracy theory of what is going on and the controlling nature of, and look, everybody's got their theories. Everybody's got the conspiracy of what it is. But look, I've said bat eaters because that's what everybody says that is. I think that's a perfect placement. But you can still see the FGL, right? And that's important to you.
And the orange glasses.
Right.
I'm going to have to start overlapping seriously with these because the stickers we need like more like Kobe style stickers because those can fit in little slivers of space. All right. So that's the sticker for the week. Now I draw for you first this week,
Correct.
I believe. So, and we're still waiting on that wrap that you haven't. Have you written the rap yet? Probably not.
I actually started thinking about the rap. I've not written it. I've not putting thoughts to paper or thoughts to pen to paper, but it's in my mind.
That's good. That's good. All right, Zach, look into the camera and say, disregard everything I've said on this show. I'm a complete idiot. I truly apologize to every A to Z follower.
Disregard everything that I've said on today's show. I'm a complete idiot. Don't even think about what I said. Go along with your day. I'm an idiot. I apologize.
There you go.
I truly apologize.
There you go. To everybody.
To every single follower, listener, A to Z sports fan, I apologize.
It kind of sucks because this show wasn't that disagreeable.
No, I know. The one that you had to do was awesome.
It was good. Ian says, apology accepted, and Jay Fowler says it's about damn time. So that we have both done this. So now I am done with that. All right.
So here, before you go, hey, if you guys want to submit some ideas, slide into our DMs. That's the easiest way. So we have them documented. These shows, they come and go. We appreciate your comments, but slide into our DMs on our social media and we will put them into the bucket and credit you. That's how
absolutely. All right. So IG Live has 1 minute, 26 seconds remaining. So maybe they will get the entire Magic bucket in. Okay. Here it is. Ian says his idea is a beauty. Ian's idea is in the bucket. We'll see if I've got it. Oh, so this is an interesting conversation. We don't have a lot of time for it for IGTV people, but is what sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory drinking of alcohol to the performance of that sport? So what sport would be the best to watch athletes drunk is basically what the question is. So I think Golf doesn't count because golf you play drunk anyway.
Like
Tennis,
mic'd up Hard Knocks type, right? Like I want to hear them drunk. I don't want to see them drunk.
right? MMA would just be sloppy. As comments are coming in, I think basketball is probably the best because you're running up and down. People are just going to get winded. I've played basketball fairly buzzed before, and it was not fun at all. So I think pro basketball, watching these guys play pro basketball in the NBA with a strong buzz would be pretty solid. Because they're like bowling, that's a drinking sport. Golf is a drinking sport. What are some other drinking sports? Tennis isn't really.
No, I have mine.
What's yours?
IG. It's one of two. Now, one you're probably going to discredit, but wouldn't it be funny, rifle team, if they're drunk and then they can't hit the targets? But the real one that I was going to say is lax, bro. Lax, bro. That's what it is. That's the answer. Lacrosse. You get all these drunk bros with sticks. God knows these things are going to start turning into weapons because that is the idea of it. Look, I don't watch a lot of lax. I'm not a lax bro.
Right.
But that would be the best sport that I would love to see them just be wasted because they have weapons in their hands. They're running around with shoes. They have some sort of protective helmet and shoulder pads. And then there's a game. The object is to get the ball. Plus, can you catch when you're drunk? I don't know.
Lacrosse would be interesting. Now there's some
Oh,
comments that would be very dangerous. Like Ethan Ramsey says NASCAR. NASCAR.
You're talking about death.
Yeah, and Rob says gymnastics. Gymnastics and NASCAR would probably be the two most dangerous things you could do while being drunk. Because that's where you can actually
Gymnastics would be funny.
You would seriously injure yourself if you were drunk doing gymnastics.
You wouldn't die. Like NASCAR,
you could easily break your neck being drunk doing gymnastics.
That's the extreme, yes. But
well, because if you're drunk, then you're not going to be under, your proper body control, and so you're probably going to land really bad. So,
but if you stick it, you're going to be right? You're going to be pumped.
Landon says volleyball could be funny. Raise your hand if you've played drunk beach volleyball. Everybody should have their hand up because that's obviously. Basketball, I think, would be the best. Football, you can't really tell because of helmets. I think the buzz, see how they would talk trash to each other with being drunk would be fully unleashed.
I can hear you. I don't know if you froze or not.
Zach's gone. You back?
I'm back. You were
Zach back. Zach is not back. I will end the show today. Thanks for watching. As Zach has, are you back now?
I'm back. I've been here.
No, you haven't been here. You were gone.
You haven't been here.
No, I was here the whole time. You were not.
You left. You did something else. You froze.
Well, maybe it was me. Shrike says Zach is fine. Austin is froze. I thought it was on my screen. It was the opposite.
Yeah. See, I was sitting there. I could hear every word you said.
So you could hear me the whole time, but
now you're back. Now you're officially back.
Well, there you go. We made it through. We made it back. I froze and then I thawed. That's just how it worked. All right, guys. Have a great Thursday. Don't forget, follow us all over social media today because Tanner, good comment. Sports talk drunk. Drunk sports talk should be the real answer. We've done that before, and there's a reason why we haven't done it again. So don't forget A to Z Sports on Instagram, Twitter, also Facebook. We're going to have tons of content coming out throughout the day and tonight once the Titans schedule is released. So let's get this thing going. We're excited about today, and we'll be able to fully react to the Titans schedule tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.
Adios.